So we are now about to jump into our panel discussion. And the panel discussion that we're going to be starting with this morning, of course, is Queens of Commerce. Now, this exciting session will bring together two successful female entrepreneurs to share their ideas and experiences in starting and growing a business, and of course, how that business and how even our businesses can remain sustainable. First up, we have Ms. CHARLENE PEDRO, who will discuss the glass ceiling. We've been hearing about the glass ceiling and how females can break the glass ceiling. So we have CHARLENE, who's going to be talking about the glass ceiling and the challenges faced not just in starting a business, but running a business. And we'll also have Ms. Lauren Peters, as she calls herself the First Lady of Solar, her journey as a female engineer running a successful business in a male-dominated field. And my job for this presentation or this panel discussion is, of course, to moderate, but you will also have your opportunity as well to ask questions of these two female entrepreneurs. And so I now call to join us on stage, CHARLENE and Lauren. Let's give them a round of applause as they come. All right, ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
And so we have CHARLENE to my left, and we have Lauren to my right. Now, I could have gone the traditional route and given the long bio, but I think one of the things we're learning here in NEDCO and at NEDCO is that you have to sell yourself, and you have to be able to present yourself and your product to an audience. So I'll start on my left first, CHARLENE. Tell us who you are in addition to the academic skills. Tell us how you would have started your business and a bit about your background.
Well, you know, I always say I'm never interested in bios, so thank you very much. Because really, people are not interested in the past. Yes. I think we're interested in going forward, so thank you for that. And in terms of my journey, I've been an entrepreneur in business for over a decade. And I used to describe myself as the accidental entrepreneur until somebody told me, no, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So my journey really started when I was separated from my company over a decade ago, and I wasn't sure what was my next step. And I had a colleague a client, wanted an HR consultant, and a meeting was set up, and I went to the meeting, and that is how I started. Definitely not planned, but learned so many lessons along the way of how things should have been done. And also recognizing that we don't discount the journey that is not planned also. Because sometimes not planning for a journey or for an event allows you to grow along the way. So sometimes we always feel we have to have, and I'm not knocking the business plans and having structure in your business, but if you do not have that, do not discount yourself as an entrepreneur.
Love this start, CHARLENE. I'm going to come to my right now to Lauren. I love that you have dubbed yourself, or even the industry has dubbed you as the First Lady of Solar, wearing your green to be environmentally friendly. I see you. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. And the same question as well. Tell us exactly who is Lauren Peters?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Lauren Peters is an innovator. I am the managing director of Nuance Solar, where we let the sun be your power. So how did Nuance Solar started? We started in 2019 just with the idea, given the opportunity and given my experiences in engineering, electrical and instrumentation out in the field, being out there as an engineering tech, fixing, repairing everything that breaks down in the manufacturing industry. But when ArcelorMittal had, retrenched us, I got the opportunity to work with TSTT, and I saw the changes and all the solutions that they have for cellular locations. So remote locations, and they were powered via solar. So I'm like, okay, if we are going into the new world or the new industries, find a solution how to find alternative energy for individuals that need it. And that is where it all began, just with the idea. And of course, that was my life experience. I'm a country girl. I grew up Faizabad. And, the team was as bush people, but we just do things differently. And because of that life experience and how I grew up, I'm like always challenging the norm. How can I be different? How can I bring solution? Because everybody in Trinidad asks, how can it be done? Is it legal? Is solar systems legal? How, where do they start? So I just wanted to educate individuals on how to transition or to migrate into renewable energy, right? So
I think one of the things that we know as well is South is love. So we love you, of course, on this side. Lauren, but I have to ask, so solar, some of us who are into the environment and we understand how important solar is, it comes easy for us to understand.
Yes.
But break it down for maybe some at home, some of us here who don't understand, break it down in terms of what exactly is solar power and how can it help not just our community but our country as well.
So we have a lot of, as you say, remote locations or individuals that live in off the grid. And off the grid just means you're not connected to the supply, from natural gas and stuff being generated by PowerGen, NTT, and Tech. But solar, which is one of a renewable source of energy, whether the sun or PV, photovoltaic, what this system does is that we harness that sun's energy and we have energy storage in batteries. In Trinidad and Tobago, that is our legal requirement to live off grid, that we have to store these power and then generate it throughout your home. So it's simple as having a whole entire system, not just solar panels, but the inverter and all that great technology inside. So, yeah.
And I think we'll pause there only because I want to come to CHARLENE. Now, Lauren guided us through in terms of what would have helped to start her business. She had this idea, after being laid off and that sort of thing, and now she has her company. How did you get started with yours? Was it a similar
It was a similar journey, having been separated from my company. Again, not having a plan, but I think it goes back to mindset. An entrepreneur has to have a particular mindset of believing in themselves and not believing everything you see. So sometimes things may seem dim. The sales are not coming in. You're not sure of your next step. And I'm getting a little snicker across from Lauren there because, as entrepreneurs, we all experience that. Yeah. But it's having a mindset to understand that you will make it through. You push through and you will make it through.
Yes, but CHARLENE, easier said than done.
Always easier said than done,
because
but
I
possible.
know there are some entrepreneurs sitting down here. Yes,
possible.
They understand that they have also been laid off, or they may be going through some sort of financial difficulty, and so they have the idea and they want to, but sometimes you get up, you get knocked down. And so, how do you keep that innovation, that sort of confidence going to keep your business going, even when the sales and the phone calls aren't coming?
And go back to mindset, because if you feel that you have been defeated, it's very difficult to get up in the morning and get going. Yeah? So you have to know yourself. You have to know what you need to bring you back up, to get up every morning and say, yes, I have this vision for my business. And understand yourself as to why are you in business. If we understand our whys, if our whys are bigger than ourselves, and your why may be your family. Probably you want a better future for your family. Your why may be the planet. You want a better place for the future to live in. If we could connect with what I call our fifth why, which is not just surface, I just want to be an entrepreneur, not that. The deeper why, if we could connect as to why we're doing what we're doing, if we can find our purpose, because now I know that my work, I don't even call it work, I call it vocation. I know what I do now is my vocation, and this is why I'm here. If we could connect with something like that earlier o'clock, then we will find the strength in the days when it seems doom and glim. When there's no money in the purse to pay for the car park, okay, you keep going, not only in spite of, because you have a bigger vision, because you believe in yourself. I remembered that, good friends will call me and say, I have a job for you. I have a job for you, you're perfect for this job. And I remember saying, I know I could make this work. I know I could make it work. So the mindset is important to develop whatever we need to do, whether it's journaling, whether you have your tribe, which is important in business and life, whatever you need to do, but you must be self-aware to understand what you need to keep going. Because there are days when the clouds can be dark, but we have to keep going. Because every single day, we all get an opportunity, a next chance.
Lauren, I'm asking you that same question as well. Charlene is talking about finding her why and that sort of drive to continue. What was yours? In fact, walk us through some of the challenges that you faced, because you're an engineer, you're in an engineering
Yes.
field, but by tradition we understand that engineering is a male-dominated field. And so tell us some of the challenges you would have experienced and how you overcame some of those.
So as Charlene says, as the cloud gets dark, you tap into that resource. It comes back also solar energy, having that energy storage, that backup. For me, is perseverance and resilience, because even though you had a start, you needed that network and that support to give you that energy to keep on going. It was very new for my whole family to understand, why would I get into business? Go get a job. It's trust me, it's simpler, because for them, being the first lady of solar, you get a lot of questions of, why this field. You get a lot of questions of, what you're doing? How can you assist me? And it is because of the resilient nature that I have, tying back to the mindset, right? Of, I want to have the solution. I want to prove my words. And the thing is, I didn't have to. I already had the words, just to execute it and to let other people know what my business offered to them. I had many major challenges, life changes. It was not just only for customers, because how can you gain a customer trust to spend over $100,000 into a new industry, right? You have to show them that it is worth it, and you have to live by that. So part of it, my experience is, I am living that, so they can now, invest into, solar energy. So it started off as trusting my word, and then executing it and making them comfortable. It's so funny that a lot of my customers are women, so that's a plus. They see the value and they share the value of renewable energy. But it was so many life changes. It reached to the point of where it was, and I'm sharing my experience, it reached to the point where it was a life or death situation, because working in the field and there, things happen. Things do happen. And surviving 13,800 volts is a major life change. Just the impact on yourself and your family, and then to get up and be resilient, to get back in the same industry, that is what keeps me going.
Lauren, can I ask you to go a bit deeper in terms of the experience? Are you willing to share with us? So
we'll just know that I'm here.
Yes, and you're alive.
I am happy to be acknowledged as the Green Entrepreneur of the Year, because it happened before that. So the resilience of me getting back up and getting into the journey and continuing, and then to be acknowledged that, hey, what you're doing, your efforts, your work, not just only for yourself, your family, but for everyone in Trinidad and Tobago, and to share within the Caribbean, it is worth it. You're doing something different. Yeah.
And we appreciate you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Of course. Charlene, we have a moment here in terms of the life or death. And I'm linking it back to that unplanned journey, because everybody has a journey for their life. They have this sort of blueprint in terms of what they want to achieve. But for some reason, what I'm getting from you is that you didn't have that plan. You had a very, very sort of unpredictable sort of journey. And I wonder if you can share a bit about how you started and that unplanned journey that you keep referring to.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a difficult time in my career, yeah? When I was released from my management position, and I was busy signing up, looking for a job, and unsuccessfully so. And that was a time where I had to lean on my faith, Sometimes we like to separate, we put our lives in silos, in boxes. And we think that our faith is for church, and work is for work, and business is for business, and home is home. But my experience allowed me to understand that I'm one person, and therefore I bring everything to my experience every day. So during that time, I had to lean on my faith and to understand that even if I didn't know what was wrong the corner, that something was wrong the corner for me. Mm-hmm. And when I got that, and I must say it was the most difficult, and I only recognized that years after. And, I look back and realize it was just one foot in front of the other from that first meeting with that client who is still with me today, 1 decade after. As a matter of fact, that client has become my friend. And I have learned in my journey to show up as my true self. Don't pretend. We look at all these gurus and we listen to all these YouTube videos, and it's good for inspiration. It's good to understand we don't have to reinvent the wheel, but I want us to clearly understand that we have something to offer that is special and unique, and that we don't need to duplicate. So the main services I offer through my business is HR consultancy, corporate training, and coaching. And you see me here, I have on pink shoes, right? I bring this personality to what I do. So my sessions are always highly interactive and fun. And we take what I call these wacky pictures with shades and hats after. And because it is different, then people will want to be part of it. So my lesson there, although the beginning was difficult, I must look back and say now, what it taught me is to always be yourself. Because what you bring to the table is unique. And that uniqueness in your business, you will find your tribe. You would not be for everyone. Whatever you're selling, you have to know who your ideal customer is first, and then you target that ideal customer. And your personality, your service, the level of quality of your service, however you deliver your service in your unique style, you will attract the right tribe.
Now, Charlene, you talk about tribe. Let's also jump off of that and talk about support system. Because I know, and Lauren is laughing here,
Absolutely.
because I know to be an entrepreneur, you have to have people that have your back, yes? So talk about how you were able to find your tribe, how you were able to find that support system to help you, especially during those difficult days.
Well, your first human support system, after God, your first human support system for me was my family. Never one day did my husband say, go look for a job. Always behind me, my sister, so that was my first tribe. And then my friends would offer me, when I just started, offer me their office. Who does that? Charlene, if you want to do recruitment and you need somewhere to have your interviews, you can use my office. So it's having that tribe of friends around you to support you. And, I say as an entrepreneur, there are 3 areas we need to look at. The one above us, who may be our mentor, or our sponsor, that person who will call your name in the room that matters. So a mentor or sponsor and a sponsor. And then you need a peer tribe. The people you will meet with after work to have some drinks and bounce off some ideas and to help you along. And then you need your team, people who you can trust with your business. I know as entrepreneurs, particularly, I don't like to use the word small business, okay? Particularly if we don't have many employees or if you're wearing all the hats, it's difficult to let go. Because it's our baby, yeah? It's difficult to let go. But the only way we can live the life we envision, because I'm sure you didn't go into business to be slaving 12 hours, 18 hours a day, yeah? The only way, I see you're chuckling behind there. The only way we can live the life we envisioned, and the only way we can scale and grow is if we trust our team. And that goes back to selecting the right team.
Lauren, I heard you chuckling in the corner. I think we both saw you. Tell us, of course, first, that support system that Charlene was talking about, but also we understand the importance of having a tribe, we understand the importance of having that network, but how do you choose who to include in that circle?
So my network started, of course, with the support of my family, but because information was so limited, I had to seek out more expertise, and not just only for finding solutions for the business, but in everything. So understanding what was, how to run a business, that was the first step. Yeah, and NEDCO was one of those, support networks. The Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. CHARLENE, I don't know if you remember, but you were one of my, facilitator in cohort 1. I find the support from, LinkedIn. I go on LinkedIn and I find, individuals who understand how to have the business running. And one of my solutions I was seeking was supply chain. And Rams Logistics is the company that is assisting me with getting the equipment. So even though that right within your small circle may not have all the solutions, you go out there and you seek it. You find the solutions, yeah? And you have that relationship with individuals that you can trust. They let you know, okay, we are the best solution. You give them that opportunity, and bet your bottom dollar you get your money's worth, yeah?
So, Kimberly, if I may, you had asked about how you select.
Yes, how you select that person, yeah.
And we need to be strategic. Long time you go to events and you just have fun. And for me now, I choose which events I want to go to. Yeah. Who do I want to meet? Who I want to shake their hand? And that's how I select in terms of my tribe. And sometimes our tribe may be our friend circle. And, I have this way of saying, the same way we spring clean our closets, after COVID, they had to throw out some shoes because they dry rotten. We need to spring clean our circle also and look and see if people around us, if they're supporting us, yeah? Because your tribe, your friends must be supportive. They have to be the one when the waves come crashing down, the times when you don't feel motivated, they have to be the one to say, yes, that's happened to me many times. That, yes, CHARLENE, you can do it. Yes, CHARLENE, you deserve to be in that room. Yes, CHARLENE. So it's so important for us, as you say, to select individuals who share the same values at times, individuals who will keep you buoyant when the waves come crashing down. There's no room in our lives, in this limited time we have on this earth, there's no room for negativity,
Yeah.
Spring clean, time to spring clean, yeah?
I love that. Time to spring clean, yes. Time to spring clean. I wanted to know, so there's something that I think about when I think about female entrepreneurs, and I wanted to know if you ladies have experienced this. The female doctor syndrome or the female captain syndrome, where somebody believes that because you're female, you're not able to do the job as well as a male. And CHARLENE, I'll come to you first. Do you find that in your circle? Do you find, for example, if you're leading a team, maybe you have male subordinates who may not respect you as much because of your gender? Do you have that issue?
I can say I've experienced what I will call bullying from a male. And because of the person's stature, I'm tall, and he was much taller than me. But I'm the kind of person that don't accept that kind of behavior. I remember years ago, I was doing a program, entrepreneurship program, actually, at UE. What was it called then? Can't recall. It was a School of Continuing Studies. I remember my entrepreneurship lecturer said, and this is decades ago, and it stayed with me, you teach people how to treat you. And then I add on, what you allow will continue. So in that instance, it's such a strange thing when somebody comes into your space and tells you, I came to disturb your spirit. Yeah. So we have to understand people are in a different mission to us. Yeah. And I remember pausing, and of course being a little shocked, who does that? Who says that? And I remember pausing and I said, you can't disturb my spirit because I didn't give you the power. So we have to understand the power we have first I had a manager that said, you don't have to attend every dance you get invited to. We have to understand our power and not allow people to bully us, not allow people to make us feel we shouldn't be in the room because we're women. I just don't, tune into that. I just go. I don't tune into that. I don't let it affect what I do or how I operate. If it comes before me, I dismiss it quite tactfully and professionally and sweetly.
Give us an example, please, Charlene, because I think we need to know how to deal with difficult people. Tell us how we can tactfully and subtly address someone who's bullying us.
Like even that, I smiled after I got over the shock. Yes. I smiled and I said, you can't come and disturb my power, my spirit. I said, I didn't give you the power. And then I turned and said, so how could I help you? I just switched the conversation. So I made my statement. I said, you can't do what you came here in terms of your mission. I took back my power. And I've been in different situations where people want to belittle you and want to make you feel that you're less of. And I simply assert myself, which is a skill. We all can learn that skill. And actually, that's what I train. We all can assert ourselves. You look the person straight in the eye and you deliver your message, whatever it may be. You assert that I am X, Y, and Z. I am qualified too. I have had X experience. A potential client recently asked me, so what experience you have? I've been in business for over a decade. I've had multinational clients and all positive reviews. I'll say, based on reviews, 99.9. I had one person in my 10 years that didn't like my trading sessions, okay? So know your information, know what you're standing on, know the ground you're standing on, and always assert yourself. We don't allow people don't get to define who we are. Yeah? And we don't give them that power to define who we are, especially as entrepreneurs, especially as female entrepreneurs, where they feel that our place should be in the office or at home, taking care of children. I say we can do it all. You can be in the office, you could have your business, and you can take care of your children. I have a family, I have 2 girls.
I have a question on that. I can't women have it all, but put a pin in that because I'm coming to you, Lauren.
I say absolutely.
I'm coming to you, Lauren, in terms of the same question. I mean, you, again, in a male-dominated field, but not just in terms of your gender, but how do you also deal with difficult people who I'm sure you may meet on a daily basis?
Well, I'm so blessed not to have difficult people on a daily basis. I have inquisitive people on how they are spending their money, right? Their warranties and how, if it will work for them. Giving examples of, individuals that, it is working for them for quite some time, then they feel more confident. But my team have been, are made up of individuals that I've worked with for many years, right? Those who are senior to me and those who are now starting off. And because we have that family relationship, you come together and you have meetings of how can I be a better communicator, how can we make the business or the job, the installation be more efficient. We have customer feedback forms of, just starting off with safety or even, building that trust with them, okay? Break it down of how they're spending the money before, after, the retainers, all those things to give them, the confidence that, our equipment would be working and this is the best solution for them. So my circle really, really haven't been resistant, hoping that it stays that way. But yes. But when it do expand, there are always individuals that would, have extra questions, and it's just to, show up and just relate to them. Yeah. So so far so good.
So far so good. Yeah. Okay. Nice. You are, of course, in engineering, you're doing solar, so it's very advanced technology that we're looking at and we're thinking about. But can you share how you use technology in your business? We had a very, very interesting conversation yesterday with Mr. Romero, who showed us some apps that we can use to simplify life. Yes. And of course, we are moving towards a more digitalized sort of business and sector. So how do you use technology in your business?
So it starts off just from beginning of the consultancy, everything is virtual. They'll become comfortable in knowing what is the best solution for them. After that, our technology already merged with, having the app on your phone so you can monitor how much energy that your solar panels are producing and how much that you are conserving, how much money that you are, basically saving. So it's already integrated into, our equipment. So TikTok has been my platform to educate individuals, and amazingly, I remember someone tell me, energy is not the sexiest topic, right? So not a lot of people gravitate it. But because of the changes that is happening, a lot of people are becoming more aware and wanting to find the solutions. So it's a fun way to get your information out there and then tie it back to the company, because people relate to people. I'm not pushing the company, I'm pushing a solution. I'm a living proof of it is working. So they relate to me, and then more or less I just say, okay, well, we do offer XYZ, and then, that's how it integrates.
You have a hook to sort of draw them in.
Of course, always.
Yes.
Always.
Very nice. I love it. Charlene, I'm coming to you, but I'm coming to you with technology, yes, but also in terms of looking at AI. And I say AI because we had a presenter yesterday who showed us, for example, how to easily build a content calendar. Do you see your services ever becoming obsolete when we look at things like ChatGPT and AI and how they're simplifying business options for clients?
I think the technology will complement what I do. Yeah. I don't see it as a replacement. People, we're social creatures. And there's nothing that can replace the warmth. If you're looking at training, if you're looking at things like projects, you can use AI to do your research. As you say, you can use AI to build out certain things. But you will still need the human eye to go through to make sure that it targets what you want, or it says specifically what you want, yeah? In terms of some of my services, like if we take training, for example, whereas we can use AI to help us to design programs, COVID has taught us, well, let me say post-COVID, has taught us that people still yearn for face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah? We have been watching the screen for so long that now people yearn for the human interaction. And so I see AI as complementing, as shortening the process, and making it easier, reducing time. But I don't see it as a replacement in terms of the services that it requires human interaction. Yeah?
No, I'm treading very carefully here because I'm about to ask a question, which some people may argue, if it was a man, you wouldn't ask that question, but I'm going through still. As a woman, how do you find that work-life balance? You have your own business. Entrepreneurship is a different horse altogether. Everybody I've spoken to says that, because especially in the beginning phases, you have to build your business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to give of your time and your energy. And so how do you find that work-life balance to be with your tribe, to build your business, and also to give time to your family? And I'll come to you first, Charlene.
Well, let's first define work-life balance. We get these things again from the gurus, but what really is work-life balance? For me, two things. It's not a seesaw to balance. It's a continuum. So we have to shift. When we say work-life balance, we make it seem as if work is not part of life, that we're fighting to balance everything else, but work is part of what we do. It's part of our schedule. It's part of our agenda. So if we change our perspective of the so-called work-life balance from a seesaw, from a scale to a continuum, consider you having different responsibilities. Think about it. Your business, if you're working full-time and you're also in your business, I call that full-time also, so you have 2 full-time jobs, and you have a family, depending on what is needed at that time, you just adjust your schedule. There are times where you may have to put in some hours at work because it's needed, you have a deadline. There are times your family, your daughter is ill, you don't go to work, you take care of your daughter. So that is about understanding what is important to you and making the decisions as to where to direct your time. So for me, it's not about balancing. I'm not trying to juggle anything. I am making the decisions as to where to invest my energies and time. And again, knowing what is important for you. So for me, family is important, so that when I make decisions, even as I'm in my business, for me, the goal is freeing my time up, giving me that freedom to spend more time with my family. Yeah? So, and me, I don't use all those fancy apps and all those things. People ask me, how you do it all. I remember somebody asked me on radio, and I say, I just get it done. Yeah? If I have to put in the hours at night into the morning, confession, went to bed 3 o'clock this morning, hope the makeup, clears the dark eyes. So you juggle, and not really juggle, you just make the decision of what requires your attention now and what you could give up at some point in time. When it's family time for me, weekend, Sunday, I love taking a road trip with my family. Work is nowhere along there. For people, it's okay, they may carry the laptop, and for me, no. Yeah, when it's a Sunday, so it's just family time. And that's how I do my balance, and of course, find time for church with the family.
So we've coined a new phrase, work-life continuum.
Continuum. There's no scale. There's no scale.
So Lauren, work-life continuum, how do you find, that sort of, how do you know what to prioritize, and how do you maintain that sort of balance, Charlene, that balance?
What is work-life balance when your job is always an adventure? I totally love what I do. It's always probably deep down in the jungle or by some wetland or totally off grid. And I just see it as, here's what, I'm going to have a solution for them. So I'm excited to wake up just to go into that new area. If it's Plomitan, if it's Guayagari, if it's Sangre Grande, Point Fortin, that is my life. And fortunately, I have a teenager, so he gets to come along with me once there's time, and he's learning along with the other technicians. So rebalance right there. Yeah, we're good to go.
So you include, of course, your
yes,
son in your business
there.
As well. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Let's switch gears to the business. You are in solar, so of course there is that future in solar.
Yes.
Do you foresee any sort of challenges in ensuring that your business remains sustainable?
With innovation and new technology, because it changes rapidly, in investing into new practices, and I believe educating individuals is most important to make it sustainable. Yes, we're saying it is the future, but it is right now. We need the solution right now. And yes, they will have companies that will come up, and it will be easier for them to do what they have to do. But because I'm the first lady, they would have that confidence, to come back to, or to continue having business with us. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, making things easier. Our legislations would be put into place hopefully soon. That would have a spiral effect of individuals merging into renewable energy. And I'm totally excited about it. Yeah, and Nuance Solar is, we are just shy of 4 years. We are going off the toddler stages, so hopefully we'll start to run soon. Yeah.
Charlene, that same question to you. How can you ensure that your business remains sustainable? There are so many other people doing what you're doing. Of course, you mentioned your unique way of doing it, but how can you ensure that your business is sustainable, that we see your business 10, 15 years down the road again?
For me, because of the type of business, consultancy, corporate training, it's about the team. Yeah, it's ensuring that I have the right team with the right, and it's difficult, I can tell you. Because so much is dependent on the brand of my business, and I have to say my personal brand, I have to almost look for clones. Yeah, people with a certain attitude, a certain spirit, because that's what people expect when they hear CHARLENE PEDRO. That's what people expect when they hear Converters Consulting. So I have to ensure that people on my team have a certain spirit. You can't be dragging yourself in, face long. We just don't do it that way. So for me, it's ensuring that I get the right people in the team, ensuring that I have the right systems in the back end as I start to scale and grow more, so that prepare myself for the future, so that you don't wait until, you get, and this is one thing I will want to recommend, in business, you prepare yourself for the opportunities and get your SOPs, your procedures documented, get your standards in the back end so that when the opportunity comes, you won't be scrambling. Get your HR organized, folks, get your taxes organized, your accounting organized. So when the opportunity comes, you are ready. You won't be wondering, because when you start to deal with the multinationals, there are certain requirements. Your taxes have to be organized. You have to have certain policies, certain codes of operation. Get those things organized so that you will not miss out on opportunities. Be prepared for the opportunity. There's somebody call you on the phone and they send you a form. You have everything ready. You can send it out the next day.
I also want to switch gears because we've been talking all morning about processes, policies, things that we can do to ensure business is sustainable. But can we also talk about emotional intelligence as well? Because I know that one of the things that people have been talking about a lot is people are buying from people. Yes. And so you need to have that emotional intelligence. So, CHARLENE, if you were to pick 3 things at least that a business owner should have as they think about emotional intelligence, what would that be?
Well, when I think of emotional intelligence, the first thing that comes to mind is empathy, yeah? Understanding how the other person feels. And if we think about our clients as individuals and not as collective, not as a target market, if you think of your client as an individual, if you try to understand your client's need, we all talk about doing your ideal client profile, yeah? And not letting that just be on a sheet of paper, but to truly understand what your client needs. So you become the solution provider for your client. You become a partner for your client. You become the go-to in your client's eyes. So when I think about emotional intelligence, I think about understanding the other person, having empathy to understand their situation. Not every client will be at a stage where they're ready to purchase. But you need to develop the relationship. I always say business, like life, is about relationships. No matter what business you're in, you need to develop the relationship. You need to invest in the relationship because it takes time. It means either picking up the phone and making a phone call. It means either meeting for coffee or meeting for lunch or meeting for drinks after work.
Even before the sale is made?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before and after. So if you don't build the relationship, if you don't build the trust, then why should I buy from you? It's different. It depends on the industry you're in. And even when we buy clothes and shoes, we still trust in the manufacturer that the shoe will last longer than a week, right? So for me, it's always about building the relationships, ensuring that you understand the client's needs, and that's where the emotional intelligence comes across. Understand when you're speaking to the person that it's not that I have something to sell you. I think Laura alluded to that you're just sharing, and then after, oh, by the way. But it's really understanding their needs and understanding them. So when they have a need to purchase, you are the first go-to person. Yeah. So that means that you must be on top of mind. Yeah? And that means you must keep the connections with your clients or your future clients. So it's not just to make the sale. I really believe if you develop the relationship, if that client trusts you that you are interested in their business, in them as an individual, then they will trust you with their money.
Nice. Yes. Lauren, emotional intelligence. At least 2 or 3 tips that are important to you when you think about bringing that sort of EQ into the business.
Well, I always say I'm a very logical and analytical person, and I don't try to get emotions involved. They do not have that when it comes to equipment, right? It's either it works, you troubleshoot it, or it don't work at all. But when it comes to people purchasing, and for them to give you the purchasing power, they always ask, how much is going to cost? How long will it last me? And why should I give you my money? Just speaking to them, always with that consultancy, with that one-on-one, understanding their needs first, and then letting them know then, yes, you can expand based on your cost. That is what really is the driver for them to start to invest in the technology. And, the follow-ups, how is it working for you? What do you want to do? Do you want to expand, or you're satisfied right now? Yeah, and it's really telling them, okay, this would work for you or it wouldn't work, right? A lot of people, I have the money and I want it now. It just won't work for you, right? Maybe not Nuance Solar, but probably a different provider, but not us right now. So really and truly is empathy, understanding, and more or less that trust, building that trust relationship.
Lauren, you touched on something so important, because when you're building a business, you think every client that comes you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want that sale, you want that revenue.
Yeah, you
Is
do.
it like that? Is it that every single client that comes or every single client that calls you, you will take their business because you want that sale?
It don't happen like that. No. Sometimes, yeah, fuel may cost more. And you really don't want to, go to that extreme, right? To do anything, illegal, tie into the grid or whatsoever. But no, not every client is Nuance Solar's client. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every client that comes, do you take on?
Absolutely not. If we come from a space and a place of serving the people that we meet, that call us, then we will understand that it's from their perspective. What do they need? Probably what I have is not what you need.
Yeah.
So you may call me for a service that I don't offer. I wouldn't say yes, 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 because I want the money. I may say I could refer you to someone, or probably you may want to think about X, Y, and Z. But I would not just, accept a client because they call me. And sometimes too, although I probably had one in my 10 years that I said, no, that client is not for me. Because you also have to have connection and be on the same wavelength in terms of values even with your clients. I remember many years ago, it may have been probably 8 years ago, we would go and sort of prospect with clients and meet with potential clients at that time. And I remember my colleague and we went to this client, and it was like if I was in an interview, and I remember my colleague was like, we're not here for, telling me, we're not here for interview. No, this is a no-no. I'm not getting the good vibes of this one. And that is a client that we never pursued. Yeah, we left and shook hands, and that was the end of that. So not every client is your client. Owning your business, you have the power to decide who you want to work with. And that's key. So there's some clients, potential clients, that you could say, no, I don't think this is a good fit for us. Yeah? Of course, you don't have to use those words with the client, right? You're telling yourself that, because you must know what to say, that will be palatable for your client and tactfully. But not every person that rings your bell, you invite in. Yeah, not everybody that rings your bell, you invite in.
I could say
some people that were distressed.
Yes.
Yeah, I could say that as human beings, we want to challenge ourselves. And, they may have a request and you want to be like, yeah, I could do the service too, because, you're watching your cash flow and you're like, yeah, this could bring in something. But then you have to remember your mission and your vision of your company and to remain within that niche. And you have to remember that you're providing this service for individuals, an alternative solution. So, that's when you decide to say no and have that work-life balance and chill, and be like, all right, another client. Yeah.
Lauren, as we look at women and even girls entering the ICT sector, are you seeing more women coming into ICT? Are you seeing more women coming into the engineering field? And what does that say for us as a country as we're building these female entrepreneurs in a specific industry?
Oh, definitely. I see more women, studying in the engineering field. There were always women. Yes, in my time back then, I was the only girl there, but I see companies now providing the opportunities for women to be hired within their industry. Yeah, not second guessing what they can offer, but giving them the opportunity, and they've proven that yes, yeah, this is I belong here in this industry, and it's not just like okay, yeah, the minority woman, we want some women, we want some men, just to see our company, investing in women. But when you look back on how thorough women are with, just doing their jobs. Sometimes you go home with the thoughts on finding the solution, how to get things done the next day. They're so very passionate about, finding the solution because that's just our nature. So, I see a lot of companies investing. I could relate to a company called NEDCO Energy, where they invested in 20 women, educating them about renewable energy, where First Lady of Solar was the facilitator. So it was, relating to someone in the industry that could share the experience, both on the installation side and also the theory side. So they are doing what they have to do. We are getting to the sustainable goals, including women, gender equality, and, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Charlene, your question as well, especially as we think of female entrepreneurs who are going into consultancy.
Remind me of the question. I was so drawn into the answer.
So in terms of the sector that you're in terms of the consultancy, are we seeing more women now moving into the fields of being consultants, of being, HR personality, of leading people to change their mindset?
Well, firstly, the HR field is female-dominated. Actually, the men are the endangered species. Yeah?
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, of course, that transfers to consultancy. So you have many women consultants. I mean, I know quite a few that have taken the option to leave their full-time job and take a chance on themselves. And again, I think for women, because we have been, when we look back at our history as women, our mothers, our grandmothers, we have been the person who ran the household, regardless of who brought home the bacon. Yeah? We have been the one who will do the budgeting, who will see about the children, have the schedule for everybody in the fridge. So really organizing the household, the family. And we have been able to translate that to the workplace and translate that to entrepreneurship. And I really think that is the benefit of having women in entrepreneurship at this time.
Mm-hmm. Charlene, and I'm circling back to a question that you had started to answer at the beginning, and I'm coming to you as well, Lauren. And please, we have about 5 more minutes in this session, so if you have your questions, please have them ready. Also, a special good morning going out to our folks online. You can have your questions as well. Charlene, can women truly have it all?
And I'll say one word, yes. And I'll back up that with absolutely. Yes. And the question is, what does have it all mean for you? What it may mean for you may not mean what it... So you have to define what that means for you, whether it is having a family, you're an entrepreneur, having your business, whatever. We get the opportunity in this life to design our lives. And having it all doesn't mean that we're juggling everything at the same time. Sometimes our lives roll out in stages. We know depending, if you have young children, your schedule is different. If you have a young baby, for example, your schedule is defined by that baby, is defined and crafted by how many cries in the night. So I do believe women can have it all. The thing is that we may not be, stuffing everything in one bucket at the same time. But definitely, if we want to have our business, we can have our own business. If you want to have a full-time business and be a full-time employee, because I've come not to discount people they call the side hustle. There's no such thing as a side hustle, folks. It's a business, yeah? So if we want to have our business, we can have our business. If we want to be also employed, because now you're starting up and you need to be employed to pay the bills, because the business is now a startup. And I want us to be clear not to discount ourselves because we are a full-time employee and we have a business. I remember seeing a Shark Tank episode, and they were kind of belittling the woman because she could not give up her full-time job, because she had people depending on her and she could be reckless with her family. So I want us not to discount individuals who are working and also have their business. That is their path, and we get to define what having it all looks like for us. Yeah? And that's why I believe, yes, women can have it all. We have to define, each woman have to define what have it all looks like for them.
I know the gurus will also say, Charlene, it's a gig economy. You move from gig to gig to gig to gig. But Lauren, I'm coming to you as well. Can women have it all? What is your all? As Charlene pointed out, what is your all? And can women have it all?
I believe women can have all whatever they desire, right? We were put into this world to really and truly fulfill our mission, but what is our mission? And when we look at within ourselves and, you define, okay, this is who I am, then all your desires, you can have it. It is attainable, right? So there's nothing holding you back but yourself. And, I would urge every woman to understand who they are, know their worth, and know what is their value within society and to the individuals around you. So, yeah.
Now, I'm going to stop here because I could go on and on, but I want to give our audience a chance to ask these two beautiful entrepreneurs some questions, and I'm also going to be fielding questions from online. So anyone right now, the floor is open. Do we have any questions? I saw the gentleman in the back, and then I'm coming to you, sir, in the front in the white shirt.
I am very pleased to see three ladies in front there. You're entrepreneurs, and you look lovely. You don't dress to say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'll dress like a man, Kimberly said a few things that in alignment with what I wanted to find more about. Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Coming down simple questions at the steering wheel of the mind. You talk about the why. I am seeing, I'm making up a word here, emotionology, technology. How can we have this emotionology, which is EI, emotional intelligence, and technology, which is entrepreneurship, and synchronize it with femininity, you ladies being from the household, and that cultural background we have of bringing up the children, so you're stepping out in the man's world, so to say, but check here, yesterday and today, less men than women. Changes are happening. What is your real advice? This might be more for Lauren. There are women right here who want to step out. Cultural background are keeping them back. That term of being still feminine, being empathetic, being loving, being caring, and going out there and keeping that woman identity and becoming successful like my green energy lady or Lauren on the other side. Am I clear with what I'm saying?
I think very clear, Lauren. Do you get it? I think he's asking how are you still able to stay feminine, but also go out there and stake your claim in the field of engineering?
Because as I mentioned before, you have to understand who you are. So no one else can shift you from that mental position. I am here. So First Lady of Solar identified that she's here, after the life-changing experience. I survived that, then there's nothing can hold me back. So I would encourage any woman who wants to break that glass ceiling, who knows who they are, who knows their worth, and who can bring that difference, just start. And when you start, everything falls in and tying together. And that is where, you can tap into your resources, your individuals, NEDCO, you can tap into people within your network and just make it happen. Prompt is there if you need raw materials, if you need whatever, that company is there. If you need HR, you already know Charlene is there. If you need entrepreneurship, knowledge, NEDCO is here. If you need green energy, Nuance Solar is the future. We let the sun be your power. So, just identify who you are and just start. Yeah.
Charlene, I want to come to you as well. Pink nails, pink shoes, very beautiful, but you are staking your claim as well. Thoughts?
Well, absolutely. I have this firm belief that we all have been endowed with some power within, and that there's something within us this world needs. And we need to press pause at time, I say, press pause for yourself, take some time for yourself, and really sit with yourself and ask yourself, what do you want in this lifetime? Mm-hmm. What is the impact do you want to make? through your business. Business is not just about business, just about selling goods and services. You're providing a solution to someone. You're making somebody's life better, even if you're set doing nails. Yeah? Because it's more than nails, it's about confidence and beauty and how you step, yeah? So whatever business we're in, it's really about making somebody's life better. And if even as women that we press pause and ask ourselves, what do we really want in this life? What impact do you want to make? What legacy do you want to leave when you're gone? When we ask ourselves those deep questions, then we kind of promise ourselves that we'll show up as our true woman, feminine self. There's no need to do it or try to do it like a man, because what we bring to the table, and the research will tell us that a diverse board, a diverse organization is more profitable. A gender-balanced organization and board is more profitable than one that is not. So when we understand our power, then we get the opportunity and we get inspired to step into our power. So we bring our whole self with whatever we do, whatever business we're in.
We bring our whole self, love it, Charlene, to whatever business we bring. White shirt, I'm going to hear from you now. You had a question for the panel. I saw your hand up. Someone is coming with the mic.
Oh, well, the guy at the back pretty much asked the question, but in a different sphere. For Ms. Peters, moving from a 8-to-4 job and into business, speaking on the lines of leadership, I know you said before that part of your team are persons who worked with you and were in more superior positions. How have you dealt with, may I say, insecurity of being a woman and maybe working alongside subordinates who have more experience than you? How has that experience been for you?
So I wish it was an 8-to-4. It was shift 7 to 3, and then you have 3 to 11 and 11 to 7. So that really tests you as an individual, as a woman. I don't know if you were made for that kind of pace. But because my technicians who are with me right now, were senior, they were very confident in what they taught me as a junior, that I am now able to execute it and even give them ideas on how to do it differently. That's just how installation works. So because they know whatever they taught me, I am now able to implement it. There's no type of questions asked there. So, it's an all collaborative effort to get the installation done. If there are people that are senior who question what I do, I always back it up with research and reference, and you can go here and you can find this is how it's being done, and we do those same practices. We have the same type of implementations. We get it done due to the code, everything. So you have no question about quality. Yeah.
All right, let me just quickly jump in here. We have a few questions online, and one of the questions we have is, what advice would you give to women who are breaking free from the norm, have families, and have to balance life and their business, and to keep their mental and emotional well-being positive? Who's going to finish? Charlene, you want to take a stab at that?
Let me take a stab at that one. Again, knowing what you need to fill your cup. Because we talk about balance and we talk about our mental health. Everything is so much about self-awareness. So you have to know when you have all these different activities for work, for your business, for your family, you have to know when you need to take a break. Sometimes we may be pushing because we have a deadline, we have a project working on, and everything is focused on that. And I do it all the time. After I've had a heavy training, I just cool off, literally. And I need to kind of decompress. So you have to know what you need as an individual so that, yes, you could push to get a certain thing in your business done. You have to know when you need time with your family to bring you that kind of joy. And then you have to know when you need time for yourself. What it is that really fills your cup. What are the little things you need to do? For some people, it may be writing in their journal. For some people, it may be reading a book. For some people, it may be gardening. I'm a gardener, so Once I'm in my garden, I'm in heaven. So some people may be a trip to the beach. You have to know yourself. What do you need to decompress? What do you need to fill your cup? And it's only when we build our self-awareness as leaders in our business, because that's who we are, as CEO and leaders in our business, then we will know how to keep going and how to ensure that we have a proper mental health.
Ladies, I'm going to ask for the responses just to be short quickly because we have some more questions coming in online quickly. This one is for you, Lauren. Are there any things you wish you would have done better in your experience as an entrepreneur?
I would say that moment, that life-changing moment, that experience made me pause. I was always going. They always ask, Lauren, you don't sleep? And within that pause, that gave me patience. It gave me a deeper insight of how to put things together and not only to be self-reliant, but to trust others that they can execute the job as efficiently once you communicate with them. So it's not just being the superhero, but building that team that you could rely on because they are a reflection of you. So I just had to pause and take a deep breath. And then when the balls start rolling, just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Another question for you, Charlene. How difficult is it to get into the HR field for an over 50 individual who has been transitioned out of an organization, but whose skill set is in a specific technical area that is obsolete?
Well, let's remove the word difficult first, okay? Going back to our mindset and how we create opportunities. I would say that first, again, look at your mindset and understand it is possible for you no matter what age you're at, yeah? Another thing I would say is develop relationships within the HR field. So we have our HR Management Association of Trinidad and Tobago, HERMAT. Make sure you're part of HERMAT. You join their committees, you work on their projects. We don't understand the value and the power of volunteerism. Through there, you develop skills, you develop relationships, people could see your work ethic. They may have a project that nobody knows about, but they may mention it to you. You can signal and be direct of your interests. Look for a mentor, somebody who you trust, somebody who is where you want to go. And also look for a sponsor, somebody, I go back, who will call your name in the room that matters. Yeah? So shift our mindset, understand it is all possible regardless of age. We don't have to live in the box that they gave us. Yeah? It is all possible for us. So shift your mindset, join HERMAT so you can start to build your community of HR professionals. Yeah, and start to develop your skills by working on projects also. Volunteer for projects.
Now I'm asking for 1 more minute only if there is one more question in the audience. Audience members, we're good? Nothing? All right. Well, ladies, let me thank you so much.
Thank
a round
you.
of applause, please,
Thank you
for
very much.
Charlene and Lauren.
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your wealth of information. As I mentioned, we can go on all day, but we do also want to give other presenters and speakers a chance. But before you go, let me invite you. I'm going to call Miss Caraballo. I think she knows her role over these past 2 days. This is just to present you ladies. First, we're going to have Charlene just to present you with a token of our appreciation NEDCO is. So if you can come this way, Miss Caraballo. Francesca is ensuring the aesthetic is good. We're good, Francesca? They're blocking Lauren. Okay. All right. Thank you, Francesca. One more round of applause for Mr. Rampasad, also for Lauren, and of course for Charlene. Thank you so much. I don't know about you all, but I'm so fired up. I'm so happy to be a woman this morning, all right? Not as if I'm not happy every single day, but I just feel as if when we had this conversation with these two ladies and seeing the sort of things that they've overcome, especially Lauren, being in such a male-dominated field, of course, CHARLENE now leading the charge in terms of consultancy, it really is proving that we can have it all. So thank you so much, ladies. I'm not forgetting you, Mr. Rampasad. We always appreciate Rams Logistics every single time. But we are going to pause now because we want you to take a break. We want you to get refreshed. So your 15-minute break starts now. See you soon.